Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Brick Wall podcast. I have a new guest host today, Rory Leadbeater.
Hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. We're going to talk about creative performance.
I'm excited.
You can't have performance media without performance creative. I don't know if you knew that.
I do know that, actually.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Rory, I don't know if you know this, but literally dozens of people listen and watch these podcasts.
Amazing.
Our first video had 2 views. I think we're up to 31 views.
That's perfect.
In the media world, that's performance.
It is, yes.
It's massive, like
We had crazy growth.
the growth curve is insane.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's exponential. Rory, I met you because our old art director, who has since retired, Paul Federico, Paul, we love him,
Love Paul.
sent around the TC&J graphic, by the way, for people that don't know, the College of New Jersey, link to all the different like senior design portfolio.
Yeah, it was for a senior showcase.
Senior showcase.
Mhm.
Very good. It's like, okay, I'm on a plane. I click on the link. I have time to kill. I'm going to go see who these people are, blah, blah, blah. Reading, blah, blah, blah. I find this girl who turns out it's you that is a blend between creative and account management. I was like, that's what I need. And then we met where?
Terramoma.
We met at a coffee shop, classic interview.
So good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd say classic.
Yeah, I was being facetious.
Oh, okay.
I was being very nonchalant there. Yes.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah, good. So why wasn't it classic then?
I'd start out with the email I received, which had little to no information, just that you found my stuff, you liked it, and you would like to meet.
Yes. And then I was like, wait, how come she hasn't answered? It's been like 5 days. You're a senior in college. You should be wanting to meet.
Mhm. And then I read it and I had to ask around to see if anybody knew if you were real, because it was such an interesting email. And someone I know had actually interned and they were like, oh no, great place. You should totally meet with him. And then I did. It was great.
2 years later? Is this 2 years?
Yeah, 2 years.
It's 2 years later. Here you are. It went from sketchy, who is this, emailing me, to we've been working together for 2 years.
Exactly. And I love it.
So glad.
Me too.
Awesome. So with Media Thesis, literally 95% of our team works on media.
Mhm.
And you work on creative.
Yes.
You can't really have performance media without performance creative.
Mm-mm.
So let's learn a little bit more about your journey first, and we'll get into performance creative.
Sure.
What got you into graphic art?
So I've always been into fine art, and then obviously technology always advancing. And then I found out that you could do art on a computer, and it just completely changed my world. And I loved it from then on. And then obviously studying it in college and then being able to work here, I would never go back and change anything.
And you had a kind of route that took you in and out to TC&J.
Yes, I had an interesting college experience because I was a 2020 COVID high school graduate. And then I was supposed to go away to college, but I wasn't going to pay to go away to college to be at home. So then I'd already done a jumpstart program through high school, and I had a lot of college credits. So I stayed home, finished, got my associates. And then in the in-between, since I graduated a year early, I worked at a design company locally to me. And then I transferred to TC&J through the NJ STARS program, and I was able to go to school there.
For those high school students and community college students, tell us what you thought of that pathway.
Oh, it was wonderful. I'd do it again. It was definitely an interesting route I took just because I didn't even know what I was doing as I was doing it, but it all worked out in the end.
We have some higher education clients, especially locally in New Jersey, that have offered that route to many people. And I feel like you're actually working on some of that business right now.
Yeah, it's very rewarding. I love it.
Very good. So tell me about the creative process. Typically, agencies get an account team to brief both media and creative. What's your process then? You get a brief. How do you go ahead and start concepting?
Sure. I think my favorite thing is that we definitely have standardized processes, but depending on the client, the vertical, who it is, we tend to do something completely different every time. And I think that's what creates such unique creative, depending on who we're targeting and what we need to do. But it definitely starts out with a regular brief, and then we bring it to the creative team, maybe do a little brainstorming, come up with a few concept ideas, bring it back to our account team, go from there, and then just continue on with the process.
We'll tell you what, let's give a real case study of what happened last week, how we went from RFP to, I need a concept, to a fleshed out campaign in about 3 days.
Mhm.
So if you'll recall, we had like 3 to 5 different audiences
Yeah.
that this client needed work around. And I'm like, Rory, here's the brief. Here are the media consumption habits. Here are their personas. Go. What next?
What next is I always grab Tim, Aaron, and Brandon, and we jump on a meeting. We go through everything together, and then we just start spitballing. I think this is my favorite part. We just have a doc open, and we gather everything we need and anything you can think of. And then about 15 minutes later, we go through it and we delete almost like 3/4 of it.
Sure.
And then from there, usually we pick a few and then I kind of run with them and I test out some creative concepting. And then we keep just coming back and getting rid of stuff and adding things and getting rid of stuff and adding things until we have our finalized product.
How, like for this campaign,
Mhm.
what we did was it needed to be applicable to out of home,
Yeah.
to social, to television, to audio. How do you create that narrative, that thread that's consistent?
Sure. It more starts with a headline, something bold, big that we can place on everything. And then depending on, which media you're using, you're going to either add like extra copy or primary text or a call to action. So it depends on
Okay,
what you're
very
using.
good. We were even talking about this on our brainstorm today, just about best practices in eliminating creative fatigue.
Mhm.
All right. So tell us a little bit about any type of process, or in your ideal world as a creative, what would you say is the thing a client needs to consider when developing creative that performs in terms of variations or numbers of available work?
Sure. Yeah. So I think the most important thing when it comes to design nowadays is creative automation.
Okay.
And creative automation, it doesn't limit creative, it actually allows creative teams to have the capacity to do more with it. A lot of times you're stuck resizing or creating the same format over and over, but with creative automation, well, here, I'll just go back to this. Probably before this all happened, we had like advances in AI and everything along those lines. You would make a design, it would get approved, and you would spend the whole rest of the day putting it into out of home, social, any other media platforms. But now you can make that design, it gets approved, and then you're able to resize everything and then continue making more designs for different target audiences.
So instead of let's call it the boring or the tedious,
Yes.
now allows for the creative and the performance.
Mhm.
So Rory, we have been working on a long-term client together. The client's been 9 years with us, and 2 of them you've been there.
Mhm.
Tell us about the historical challenge of working with this client, and now what the ideal would be.
Yeah, definitely. So we've had a lot of change with this client, which is amazing because we're able to produce so much more for them. Originally, we would create one banner that would take a really long time to get approved, and then we could resize it, put it into market, and then we would just keep waiting for more and more approvals on that same banner. But now using our creative automation, like Create a P, which is now the brief, we can make a bunch of A and B tests for different personas because we're able to make them quicker, send them to legal, get this approval process going, and in the back, keep making more and more so that as that gets approved, we're getting our next set approved, and whatever performs better, that's what we produce.
Have A creative test against B creative,
Mhm.
A creative wins.
Yep.
Remove B creative. Insert C creative against A creative, test, test, test,
Mhm.
test, test. Reduces creative fatigue.
Yep.
Very good. So Rory, this is the Brick Wall podcast.
Mm.
So for the agency owners out there, the media directors out there that want to battle creative fatigue, the art directors or copywriters, the creative team that are looking for solutions about how to break through and perform better for their clients, what's your recommendation? What would be a sample workflow? Or if it was a perfect world, what would you recommend that they do?
Sure, it's a loaded question.
It is.
I'd say, obviously, day and age of AI, it is a tool, and that's what we keep needing to use it as. And like I've mentioned, and using it in different type of like resizes or when you want to mass produce or go from there, use it as your best friend. Like it's going to help you create your own and then continue to keep creating all of your own stuff without having any type of drawbacks or anything.
Very good. Now, what we even said today is that throughout the history of technology, it's still the person that's feeding the machine is where the creative.
Yeah, it's so important. You always need a human touch to anything because it's never going to be perfect. But the whole point is that it's going to help you get there faster.
What I plug into AI is different from what you would plug into AI.
Definitely.
And from a creative, thank God it's you plugging in. So that's wonderful. Any final tips, tricks, recommendations, platforms that you would recommend to our huge listening audience?
Oh, yes, our large audience. Like I mentioned before, I use Creative-P. It's not called The Brief, but it's a little hard to find if you search that up. And then just anything that's integrated into Adobe platforms already, because they're so seamless, especially when designing.
That's really interesting. What are the things that you've seen of Adobe that are AI forward?
Ooh, I'd say any of their programs. Photoshop is just like perfect now. You can do absolutely anything you ever wanted to with an image.
Photoshop versus Canva. Competitors? Friends?
I'd say friends. Canva is definitely enhancing a lot of the things they can do. But when it comes to really sharp imagery, you don't really want to put that into Canva to get what you need out. You would edit the image in Photoshop and then maybe place it in Canva.
Okay. So, Rory, you're one of the most interesting people I've ever worked with, to be honest with you. As we said in a previous podcast, Cam is a horse girl. She's an equestrian. What are you?
Oh.
We're not cutting. You have to think of this right now.
What am I? Oh my goodness.
I feel like you're a surfer.
Yeah, I definitely surf. I'm definitely like, I don't know what I'm definitely. That's a crazy question. I don't.
That's fine. You're a great sister.
Yeah.
I love your brothers.
Thank you. No, my brothers are awesome. They're great. They do everything under the sun. Yeah. I'd say I'm a jack of all trades.
Okay.
That's a good one. I will learn any skill that is out there.
I believe it.
And I dedicate my time to it. That's why I don't sleep. There's too many things to learn.
That's awesome. That's such a great attitude.
I have a calculus book next to my bed before bed. And I just, try and learn a little bit more math again and things like that. And do.
Oh, you're going to be a media director sometime soon.
Probably.
All right. Well, what is in like the last 12 months, what's the best show you've watched? Best movie, best book?
Oh, my goodness. I don't really watch TV or anything.
Fair.
And I read, but this is going to sound terrible that I don't know the names of any of them.
Brilliant. Give me a song or a music artist, a concert.
I'm going to see the Foo Fighters.
Okay, there you go.
I love the Foo Fighters. Yeah, they're great.
This brings me back because I listened to the first Foo Fighters album in my freshman dorm room.
Wow.
And here you are 70 years later listening to
It's still good.
Yep, very good. Thank you, guys. We're looking forward to Rory's friends and colleagues liking, smashing that subscribe button, and totally doubling our view and listener count.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Exponential.